Hi, I'm Xavier. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. One click from you means more stories can be shared. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers and make a difference. Let's begin. When Grandma Marie died last month, I never expected to inherit anything. We were close when I was younger, but life and distance got in the way. So when her lawyer called saying she'd left me her old house in Oakwood Village, I was shocked. The 6-hour drive from the city gave me plenty of time to remember summers spent with Grandma Marie. Her homemade lemonade, the smell of fresh-baked cookies, the creaky porch swing where she'd tell me stories about my grandfather. My memories didn't prepare me for what I found. The two-story Victorian house looked like something from a horror movie. Peeling paint, broken windows, overgrown yard. Inside wasn't better. Water stains on the ceiling, torn wallpaper, dust everywhere. "What the hell happened here?" I whispered, setting my duffel bag on the dusty floor. I was examining a crack in the living room wall when the front door burst open. "So you actually showed up. Didn't think you would." A tall man with gray hair and my grandmother's eyes stood in the doorway. "My Uncle Richard. This house belongs to the family, not some kid who hasn't visited in years." "Nice to see you too, Uncle Richard. The will says differently. Your grandmother wasn't thinking straight near the end. I took care of her for years while you were off living your life. Is that why the place looks abandoned?" His face reddened. "I had my own home to maintain. Couldn't be everywhere at once." "Yet you feel entitled to this one?" "I've already spoken to a developer. This property is worth good money with the lake nearby. I'll give you 10,000 to sign it over and save us both the headache." "I just got here. I'm not selling anything." "Don't be stupid, Xavier. This place is falling apart. You don't have the money to fix it." "Thanks for the warm welcome. I think I'd like to be alone now." After he left, I wandered upstairs to what used to be my grandmother's bedroom. The bed was still made with her favorite quilt. On the nightstand sat a framed photo of us from my high school graduation. I picked it up, noticing it was loose in the frame. Behind the photo was a folded piece of paper, my grandmother's handwriting. "My dearest Xavier, if you're reading this, be careful. Richard wants this house desperately, not for sentiment, but for what's hidden here. Trust no one except Elena at the village store. She knows everything. I'm sorry for the burden I've placed on you. Love always, Grandma Marie." The next morning I found the village store, a small building with a faded sign. Behind the counter stood a woman around 50 with kind eyes. "You must be Marie's grandson. I'm Elena." "How did you know?" "Small village, news travels, plus you have her smile." I lowered my voice. "My grandmother mentioned you in a note, said I could trust you." Elena glanced around the empty store before leaning forward. "Your uncle's been trying to get that house for years. Him and Mayor Thomas have plans for that whole area. Development deals. Big money." "But why my grandmother's house specifically?" "Location. It sits on the highest point overlooking the lake. Premium real estate." She paused. "But there's more. Things happened in this village that powerful people want forgotten. Your grandmother kept records." "What kind of records?" "Not here," Elena whispered. "They have ears everywhere. Come back tomorrow when my nephew is working. I'll show you something important." Walking back to the house, I noticed a black SUV slowly following me. The driver quickly turned away when I looked. Grandma's house wasn't just falling apart. It was at the center of something dangerous, and I had just stepped right into the middle of it. Back at the house, I locked the doors and began a thorough search. Grandma Marie had always been clever with hiding things. As kids, she'd create elaborate treasure hunts that would keep us busy for hours. The floorboards in her bedroom creaked differently in one corner. I pried one up with a screwdriver from my car toolkit and found a small metal box. Inside were dozens of letters and documents. "Holy shit," I whispered, spreading them across the dusty floor. Land surveys, permit applications, email printouts between Uncle Richard and someone named Mayor Thomas. They detailed plans for a massive resort complex covering half the village, including protected wetlands. Property values manipulated, environmental reports falsified. One email stood out. "The old lady won't budge. Time to increase pressure. T says eminent domain isn't an option with the historical designation. Need her signature or for her to be declared incompetent. Work on that angle." R. The front door rattled, making me jump. I shoved everything back into the box and under the bed. "Hello, Xavier, it's Natalie, your cousin?" I'd last seen Natalie at a family Christmas 5 years ago. She stood on the porch with a bright smile and a casserole dish. "Thought you might be hungry. Dad mentioned you were staying at great-grandma's place." "That's surprisingly thoughtful of him." Oh, you know how he is, all bark. She pushed past me into the house. Wow, this place needs serious work, but I bet it could be gorgeous again. You think so? Absolutely. I studied interior design, remember? I could help you figure out where to start. As Natalie wandered through the house, pointing out potential improvements, I noticed her taking pictures with her phone. Just getting ideas, she explained when she caught me watching. For reference. After she left, I returned to my search. Behind a loose baseboard in the kitchen, I found a voice recorder. The date label showed entries from just months before Grandma Marie died. February 12th. Richard came by again today. Threatened to have me declared mentally unfit if I don't sell. Said the mayor's office would condemn the property. I'm scared, but I won't give in. March 3rd. That lawyer Patricia keeps calling. She's supposed to be my lawyer, but she's pushing me to sell too. I think they're all in on it together. I was so absorbed in the recordings that I almost missed the knock at the door. A woman in a crisp suit stood there, holding a leather portfolio. Xavier Mills, I'm Patricia Hendricks. I handled your grandmother's estate. I wasn't expecting you. Just following up. Have you considered what you'll do with the property? It's in terrible condition. Taxes alone will be substantial. I've only been here a day. Of course, but I have several interested parties. One is prepared to make a very generous offer. Cash, immediate closing. She pulled out papers. I've taken the liberty of drawing up the paperwork. You could walk away with a nice sum and none of the headache. I need time to think. The offer expires tomorrow. Sometimes opportunities don't wait. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. I'd hate to see you miss out. After she left, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Meet me behind the store at 8. Bring what you found. Elena. Looking out the window, I noticed Natalie's car parked down the street, and a man in a suit watching the house from across the road. Whatever my grandmother had hidden here, people were getting desperate to keep it buried. I slipped out the back door at 7:45, documents stuffed inside my jacket. The village was quiet as I made my way to the store, constantly checking over my shoulder. Elena was waiting behind her shop, next to stacked produce crates. You weren't followed? Don't think so. What's going on, Elena? Why is everyone so desperate for my grandmother's house? She pulled me farther into the shadows. It's not just the house. It's what your grandmother knew. Those development plans would destroy protected wetlands. Marie had proof that Mayor Thomas took bribes, that your Uncle Richard falsified environmental studies. What should I do? Go to the police? Local cops are in Thomas's pocket. We need bigger fish, state investigators. But we need more evidence, right? More than just some old emails and recordings? Elena nodded. We need them to incriminate themselves, on record. I laid out my plan. Call Uncle Richard, pretend I changed my mind about selling, invite all parties to discuss terms. They'll be suspicious, Elena warned. That's why I'll set the meeting for 3 days from now. Give them time to believe I've caved under pressure. The next morning, I called Uncle Richard. I've been thinking about your offer. Finally seeing reason? This place is a money pit, but $10,000 is insulting. I want a fair price. What's fair to you? Let's discuss it. Bring your developer friend, that lawyer, whoever else is involved. Let's get this done. Fine, Friday, 3 o'clock. Elena helped me find small recording devices. We planted them throughout the house, under the coffee table, behind picture frames, and light fixtures. We need to be careful, Elena said, testing a microphone. These people have a lot to lose. So did my grandmother. 2 days later, I was downloading an app that would let me control the recordings remotely when someone knocked. Natalie stood there, face unusually serious. Can I come in? I need to talk to you. She paced the living room nervously. Dad told me you're selling. Thinking about it. Don't. At least not to them. She lowered her voice. I've been helping my dad because, well, he's my dad. But what they're planning is wrong. Why the sudden conscience? I saw the plans. They're going to drain the wetlands, destroy half the wildlife preserve. It's protected land, Xavier. They've bribed officials, falsified reports. Her concern seemed genuine, but something felt off. If you know all this, why not report it? Against my own father? Would you? While I fixed us drinks in the kitchen, I glanced back to see Natalie scanning the room, eyes lingering on a picture frame where I'd hidden a microphone. Looking for something? She jumped. Just admiring Grandma's photos. Later, after claiming she needed to use the bathroom, I heard floorboards creaking in my grandmother's bedroom. I quietly followed and found Natalie frantically searching through drawers. Lose something? She spun around, clutching the metal box I'd found earlier, now empty because I'd moved the documents. Where are they? The papers Marie kept? So that's why you came, not to warn me, to destroy evidence. You don't understand what you're messing with, Xavier. These are powerful people. They'll crush you. Like they crushed my grandmother? Natalie's expression hardened. You're making a mistake, and you're trespassing. Get out. After she left, I called Elena. Natalie just tried to find the documents. They're getting desperate. Good. Desperate people make mistakes. Everything set for tomorrow? Almost. One more thing to do. I drove to the next town over and mailed copies of everything to a state environmental inspector Elena knew. Insurance in case our trap didn't work. Friday arrived with storm clouds gathering, perfect for my trap. My laptop connected to all recording devices as the doorbell rang. Uncle Richard entered first, then Mayor Thomas with his fake smile, followed by Patricia and Natalie, who avoided eye contact. Let's talk business. Uncle Richard settled onto the sofa. Decided on our offer? First, why is this property so valuable to you? Mayor Thomas straightened his tie. Community development. This area is designated for revitalization. Strange. County records show no such designation. Paperwork's being processed, Patricia interjected. Property values will skyrocket once development begins. And the wetlands protection? The environmental studies? Uncle Richard stiffened. What has Elena been telling you? Enough to know what you did to my grandmother. Your grandmother couldn't recognize progress, Mayor Thomas snapped. Progress or profit? How much were those kickbacks worth? Silence filled the room. Making accusations without proof is dangerous, Uncle Richard warned. Like threatening an elderly woman, trying to have her declared incompetent. We simply tried making Marie understand the situation, Patricia said, by watching her house, cutting her phone line when she contacted authorities. Natalie shifted. Dad, maybe we should leave. Nobody's leaving. I pulled out my phone. Not until the investigators arrive. What investigators? Uncle Richard demanded. The ones I contacted with copies of everything. Your emails, the falsified reports, the bribes. You're bluffing, Mayor Thomas scoffed. I tapped my phone. Their voices filled the room, our entire conversation. Insurance, I explained as car doors slammed outside. Uncle Richard lunged toward me. I wouldn't, not with everything already sent to authorities. Two suited investigators entered as Uncle Richard hissed, You have no idea what you've done. I've finished what Grandma Marie started. The aftermath was swift. Mayor Thomas and Uncle Richard faced charges for harassment, corruption, and environmental violations. Patricia underwent disbarment hearings. Natalie tried apologizing as she left. I was just doing what my father asked. Like destroying evidence? The town will blame me. Then they'll be right. While renovating, I discovered a hidden compartment with my great-grandfather's art collection, worth $500,000. Elena helped host the open house celebration. Marie would be proud, she said, admiring the restored porch swing. She always said you'd make things right. I wish she could see it. She can, in her own way. I stayed permanently. The house meant to be Uncle Richard's corrupt payday became my home, proof that some inheritances are worth more than money. What would you have done if you discovered your own family members were involved in corruption and illegal activities? Would you have exposed them publicly like Xavier did, or handled things privately to protect family ties? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge story, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories that explore difficult moral choices. Your support helps us create more content like this, and we'd love to hear your perspective on these complex situations. What's your verdict? Was Xavier's complete rejection of his family justified, or did he go too far? Let us know.